going live. We are live. Holy cow, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Mountain Bike Q&A, the mountain bike podcast where you get to learn a little bit more about your favorite mountain bike content creators, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, or somebody who creates something to make your ride a little bit better. I'm your host, Johnny Yu. Thank you so much again for hopping on. And if you're watching and you're new, please hit that like and subscribe button. As I always say, it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. And also, I usually post this a couple days earlier, maybe over the weekend on the iTunes, Spotify, whatever. If you could listen to that and leave a star or whatever you do on that thing, but I'd really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. It keeps me going. Even though I just love doing this, even if nobody watches. This is just so much fun for meeting all of you and meeting the people like I'm about to bring on now. I thought his name was Butler because it says Butler Does It. Messed me all up. But his name's Ryan, and I want to bring him on. Huge fan. I think what he's doing is great. And if you read the description, I was talking to him earlier about this. This has been through so much, and yet he still gets on a bike. So what's your excuse? Let's bring him on, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Butler. How you doing, brother?
Great. How are you today?
I'm doing awesome. We were talking back before all this started. It's so, Ryan also does it. Buddy Steve, spokesman MTV. Ryan does it, Butler. Ryan Butler does it, man.
Most of my friends call me Butler. And, it's almost strange when some of them call me Ryan. Because at my age, there were so many kids named Ryan after Ryan's Hope, that soap opera.
Yeah.
And so there was 8 Ryans in my 7th grade history class. And
oh my gosh.
We all went by last names. So I remember early on, like my PE coach would yell at me, Butler, run faster.
That's funny you say it. Medi over there in Tahoe, let's party, man. Is still trail pimp to me. I'm sorry. I'll call you Electric Trail Surfer for now. But it's funny you say that because I heard somebody call me John the other day. Threw me off. I'm like, who are you talking to? I've been Johnny for so long. Yeah. And my last name is actually Uzeric. And ever since high school, everybody just started calling me Johnny U because no one could pronounce my last name.
Yeah.
So once I get Jonathan U, never been a Jonathan.
Jonathan U. Yeah, my wife doesn't call me Butler. One of my best friends never really calls me Butler, and it's weird when he does. It's weird when most of my other friends go, "Hey, Ryan," and because I'm just so used to
you're like Ryan
Butler.
Who's this Ryan guy? That's funny. So where are you at over there, Mr. Ryan Butler?
As far as in my house or in the world?
No, sorry. Are you in the living? No, are in the country?
I'm in Chandler, Arizona, which is a suburb of Phoenix. I'm like a mile from the Phoenix border.
Okay.
And then I'm a mile from the Native American reservation, the Pima Res out here too. So there's open desert like a mile south of me.
Oh, so heat like I know heat, but different heat.
I don't like that Florida heat, man. I don't like anything east of Dallas, but I can take 120.
It's funny. You can take it's that humidity that we have. And I get it. It's hot out there, but the humidity is stifling.
Yeah. My first time in Florida was, on tour early on. And I just was like, what the hell is this? This is inhuman.
Yeah.
You're just wet.
Yeah. I actually plan on leaving in less than a year, but
yeah,
I'm just over the heat. It's just one of those things where I'm just going
to out there. It's rough out here in the summer, June through August and sometimes some of September and May. It's pretty rough. And we have had a warm spring too, but I'll take it over that humidity any day. 90 degrees and 90% humidity is way worse than 120 degrees.
Just drenched. Now, you live out in Arizona.
Mhm.
Desert riding, totally different for what I'm used to.
Yeah.
What got you into riding out in that kind of heat?
Oh, I mean, I was born here, so
Oh, okay.
I don't know any better. I'm just a stupid desert rat.
I don't know any better.
Thank God for lights. We didn't used to night ride, so I'd have to get up at 4 to get out there by 6 in the summer and get off the trail by 9, or you're just gonna roast in the oven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you been riding? Have you been riding since a kid and just up until now, or did you start are you a pandemic rider or?
No, I started in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in a Boy Scout troop. I'm an Eagle Scout, believe it or not.
Nice.
Yeah, I was in this Boy Scout troop, and there was this guy, Ryan, who was a year or two older than me. I think maybe 2 years older than me. And he was mountain bike racing. And he had a Nishiki Alien. And it was like the coolest bike ever. And he got me into it. And my dad was Arizona State road racing champion for 3 years in the 60s. And he totally was into me getting into biking. So we were on a trip in Montana, like summer of 5th grade probably, and he rented me a KHS mountain bike up there, and I rode it around on some roads and some real light trails and stuff. And because he knew I wanted one, so he wanted me to try it before we spent money in it. And my dad, being not only the cheap guy he was, but the one always trying to teach me lessons, said, okay, if you want a mountain bike, you're going to work at my accounting office doing data entry for $2 an hour.
Nice.
And, yeah, he had a friend who worked for Haro and was their distributor. And he was like, I can get you any Haro you want at cost. So he brought the catalog over. It was actually, funny enough, I have this right here, the picture of this bike, the Haro Impulse. He wrote the price that he could get it for me on every page of the catalog for each model. And this one was like $380, I think.
Wow.
And
back then.
Yeah, well, the wholesale.
Yeah, and $2 an hour.
Yeah. So I worked a whole summer. Probably not 8-hour days. I don't remember. I'm sure like 6 hours or something. But I think there might have been some days where I went in with my dad and went home with him too. But yeah, $2 an hour. I got that hardtail, full rigid hard Impulse, and started riding with my friend Ryan. And then he eventually joined the racing team for a shop that he was on here. And I raced, through the end of elementary school, middle school, and maybe a little bit into high school, I think too, until I got into skateboarding. And
you're like, skateboard's cooler.
Yeah, I was always into music, and
yeah.
One of my friends that was really into mountain biking was moving away. His family was moving to Saudi Arabia, and high school age teenagers aren't allowed to live there, so he had to go to military school. And I just kind of broke off with this skateboarding group there that was into punk rock, and I'd been into metal and stuff, and started getting into punk rock with them and skating, and I probably end of freshman year kind of put my mountain bike aside, and then it got my Alpine Stars bike that I had then with the first RockShox ever. Got stolen from school, and I stopped riding until probably college. Then I got another bike and did that until probably 99, 2000. And then I ended up starting a recording studio a couple years later and didn't start riding again until like 2008. So I had a pretty long gap there. But one of my customers that I'm still really good friends with was like, you got to start riding mountain bikes again. Because I learned that he was mountain biking. And at first I bought a cruiser because I was just like, I need to, I'm sitting all day now. I used to install blinds and shutters and stuff. And I went to sitting full-time recording bands. And so I needed some activity, and I bought a cruiser, and I was like, this is boring. And he got me to buy a bike. I bought a Haro. And started riding with him. And after a while, 29ers came out, and I had to get a 29er, and then
Girl.
I've been pretty much addicted since. My only time off really was I blew out my knee, so I was off for like a year for that, and then my transplant. I was off the bike for a year, and I tried riding again for like 3 years, but it was like very intermittent because I didn't know that I had diastolic heart failure from my liver transplant.
Hey.
And I couldn't get uphill, and I would try and try and try, but then finally my buddy got me to sell my titanium hardtail and my steel hardtail and get a EMTB. And
yeah, good man.
Made it so I could ride again. He kind of bullied me into it because I was like, "No, I'm not going e-bike. I'm not a wimp." And I was like, I'm
no shame
in
it. Medi's like, I remember Naishiki.
Yeah,
I did too. When I was in college, my car just broke down, didn't work anymore, and my buddy Dave had a Naishiki, and he would let me ride it to and from. He'd let me borrow it to and from a class until I got a bike. It was just like a beach cruiser with up handlebars and whatnot. But yeah, holy cow! My sister's in the house. She's waving, saying hi. I love that. $380 back then is $42,600 today.
That's probably accurate. Minimum wage is almost the same.
Yeah. Cost of living, minimum wage. Do you ride South Mountain or Phoenix Mountain Preserve? Medi'd like to know.
Both. I rode South Mountain last night.
Nice.
I ride Phoenix Mountain Preserve a lot, but I really love Hawes. But there's so many places around here to ride, and you can be in the Pines in like an hour and a half. So,
yeah, it's funny. I don't know Arizona very well, so I Googled. The trails. You guys got tons of trails out there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Move here, we'll ride. If you're gonna.
Steve loves your "What's in My Headphone" series.
I just started that. It's really fun. I was for the last few months. I started this all to do like tell stories, kind of. Because people are always telling me to write a book, and that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I was like
sitting and typing.
Tell stories on YouTube instead, and I always loved. I followed BKXC and Single Track Sampler and all those guys from their action, and love the adventure of it and the storytelling because I'm kind of a trail / adventure rider. I like to do a journey, not like high action. I in the last few months in my long form videos, I started saying, I'm listening to this, and I'd tell like a little story about what I was listening to, and I was like, why don't I do shorts of this? It's easy content, and I could do it on every single ride and have a stockpile of content. So I started doing that recently.
Again, Medi would like to know what kind of e-bike do you ride? What's the travel on it? What are you riding?
So I have an Orbea Wild M10 that's 170, and then I have a older Yeti 160E that's 150, I think, and then a gravel bike that sits on the wall.
What's funny about all that stuff is I got a bike, my e-bike, which my wife gave me for my birthday a couple of years ago, the D-Core Core 4, the YT. I don't even think I looked up the specs on it. I just ride it. Like I am so like we were talking about today. I was talking with another rider today. He's got a gravel. We're talking bikes and whatnot. And I am not technical at all. Like I like what kind of whatever you got. I'm like it rides. It moves. I put some air in it. Whatever. It's just funny. I'm just not really into the tech part of a bike. Like. I had to get someone to put a chain on my bike the other day for me. That's how horrible. And it was funny. I'm like, I guess I could do this myself, but why not just pay somebody to do it?
Put on a chain. That's wild. I mean, it's literally like.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know which one to buy. Like the guy had to look it up on the app. He's like looking at my bike and he's looking on the app and he goes, well, I've got these two. $90 later, I've got a chain. I'm good.
I did most of my own work until getting e-bikes, and man, running brakes on those and stuff is really hard. You know, you got to have your motor dropped or a dropper. I had to switch out a dropper because one went bad, and it's just like, and then Yeti was like, well, if you drop the motor yourself, your warranty's void. And I was like,
oh, I should have just texted Steve to see. He wrenches on bikes. I'm sure Matty does too. Let's go backwards a little bit.
Sure.
This. We got into mountain bike. We know you're a mountain biker. But you also did music. And I find this fascinating. Like you sent that stuff to me earlier this week, and I went down the rabbit hole. Tell me a little bit about the bands you were in. You were a bass player for not just like a little garage band. You like were in a band.
Mostly guitar. I only played bass.
Guitar.
I played bass in my first band, which was a punk band, like a pop punk band. And then I got bored of bass. I grew up, so I got a guitar in second grade, and I loved Iron Maiden and stuff like that. And I couldn't get it to sound like that because I didn't know about distortion. And my parents were putting me in lessons, and he was just teaching me scales. And I was just like, I want to play thrash metal. And he was like, well, we'll get to that. And I got bored and gave it up. But I joined the orchestra in fourth grade.
Wow.
I played viola until I graduated high school, and I learned stand-up bass and violin and cello and stuff too. And I picked up bass guitar in middle school and started a band freshman year, a punk band, and got bored with bass and got a guitar. So yeah, I've been playing guitar. I mean, I played acoustic, but while I had a bass still, but seriously playing guitar since I was probably 16.
And see, that just to me, that's cool.
It's my buddy.
Right there, like playing an instrument alone, I think, because I'm all thumbs on a guitar. I was horrible. You know, you had to take all that kind of stuff in high school for credits. You had to take guitar or piano. I took that kind of stuff. I did flute in fourth grade, and we had the one final thing at the end of the year, and I just pretended to blow. I didn't know how to play anything. So I'm just muy impressivoed with you, being able to pick up a lot of stuff. Is there a lot of music in your family, or?
Yes. Funny enough, my parents were horrible musicians. My dad had a guitar and could not play it. My mom bought a baby grand piano when we bought a bigger house, I remember.
Wow.
And my dad started making a little money with his accounting firm that he'd started. And we had a little space in the house. She bought a baby grand and tried to learn it for years and couldn't do it. And my sister took piano lessons and didn't stick with it. But my uncles on my mom's side, two of them were in like a reggae band, and they did like ZZ Top covers and stuff. And they are kind of who inspired me to really get into music when I was really young. Them and a kid across the street who was my age when I was in like first or second grade, who was really into metal, and he lived with his older cousins, and they were just feeding us, you know, Maiden and Priest and all that stuff, Slayer. Wow. And that was my inspiration. I really looked up to my uncles, and they got me down that path. But it was kind of a journey, because I started with a guitar inspired by them in second grade, didn't stick with it, got into the orchestra, and realized, you know, a couple years later, like, this thing is the same as a bass. Why am I not playing the music that I listen to all the time, even though I love music? But yeah, that's how I got into it.
That's amazing. It blows my mind. Who's that?
That is one of my singers in Northside Kings. He's the guy that knocked out Glenn Danzig.
Oh, you sent me that video too. That's funny.
He writes books.
I'm not going to mess with him if he knocked out Glenn Danzig.
He'll give you the shirt off his back, but he'll rip the shirt off yours.
Punk rock. Have you been to Fire and Fury Brewing in Phoenix?
I don't know that one.
Hey, Shane Kelly Domestique. I've been to Fire and Fury. Had Fam in Peoria. Great place. Thanks for jumping in, brother.
Place. I go to the Nile Theater a lot, Yucca Tap Room, Rosetta Room. That's where a lot of the shows are here. Marquee is a bigger venue. I mostly go to see like touring bands or my friends that are on tour that I've met over the years and stuff too.
But you were. I mean, this is. I'm going to embarrass you a little bit.
Okay.
This is you, right?
Yeah, I have long hair in all of these, so I've a little. Yeah.
Okay. First off, if you're listening on the podcast in another spot,
that's a good.
I'm pulling up Landmine Marathon, and I spelled it. Yeah, Landmine.
Yep.
Marathon. I spelled it right.
We spelled it wrong. Believe it or not, it's 2 words.
Yeah, and I thought it was. Yeah. So what's funny is if you're listening on another form of podcast, I pulled it up on YouTube. Landmine Marathon. This is Shadows Fed to Tyrants, ladies and gentlemen. Sit back and enjoy the music. Wait, is that you?
With the long hair. Right, yeah, that's me.
Oh, see, that's funny because you've got the beard. I thought that was you.
No, that's Matt, our bass player. He's like my best friend in the world.
Hi, Matt.
He's my ride or die. I don't know if he's on here right now, but he's a pretty busy guy, but he's the best dude you'll ever meet.
No, but this for folks at home that don't know, this is actually a love song. It's about 2 people finding their souls and their hearts together. Okay, where's the breakdown?
Yeah, probably 3/4 of the way through there, and you'll see
it's always about 3/4. Okay, that's a love song.
Yeah,
but I think that's amazing. You were in a band that actually has music videos out there, and that was played on the radio.
Yeah.
How cool is that to sit back and listen to liquid metal and go, they're playing our song right now?
It's weird. Especially because, I grew up in hardcore and punk rock and grindcore and stuff, which was kind of anti-corporate DIY.
Uh-huh.
But there was these labels like Relapse Records, Prosthetic, the label we were on, that were doing kind of more of the smaller bands, but giving them a lot of exposure, and they'd end up on MTV and stuff, even though it was like kind of a DIY label with 10, 15 employees. They would have bigger distribution, and it would end up on MTV and stuff sometimes. We didn't end up on MTV. I don't. Maybe some of the like later ones, because we didn't start doing videos with Landmine till probably 2010.
I was gonna say, what was it? Headbangers Ball.
Yeah. I don't know if they ever had us on there. Jamie Josta used to wear Northside Kings shirt on there all the time. That was the band I was in with Danny. Wow. And that was kind of New York hardcore, like tough guy sound and stuff.
That is just so cool. Headbangers Ball and 120 Minutes. I would stay up for.
Oh yeah, me too.
Every weekend.
Those kids that I was talking about that lived across the street from me that got me into metal, they had multiple VCRs, so they would tape every movie, and they would tape Headbangers Ball every week. And my Christian mom wouldn't let me watch MTV, so I'd just go over there and we'd watch Headbangers Ball on a loop, over and over.
That is hysterical. I did this. That's kind of like when you listen to Casey Kasem and the Top 40.
Yeah.
And a song about, and they do the request. Here's a request from what, but you'd sit there and wait to hit the record. That's how I did with the VCR with Headbangers Ball in 120 Minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You introduce it, you hit the record just the right time.
They tape the whole show, and we just watch it for hours a day all summer,
Steve, did they find their hearts and souls in a box under the fireplace? Oh, what movie was that?
Oh,
that was in a movie, I think. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. You were telling me you shared a stage with Metallica. Was that a big highlight of that career?
That's like one of the craziest things that's ever happened to me. Yeah, they did a fest called Orion Festival. They did 2 of them, 2012, 2013, and we were the first one. Our bass player called me up, and our booking agent had just called him, and he's like, all right, he knows I love those first 4 Metallica albums like so much. And he's like, "Are you
Yeah.
sitting down right now?" I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He's like, "Sit down." And he's like, James Hetfield asked us to play that Orion festival that we're doing. And it's just like, no. And we had a friend named Brian Liu who was super tight with Metallica. He did a book and a movie called Murder in the Front Row. And he grew up in the Bay. He ran the first Megadeth fan club. He grew up with the Metallica guys and Exodus and all those guys. And he was a huge Landmine fan. And I don't know if he like showed James our stuff or if James just, looked at his social media and saw him like posting us on there all the time. But yeah, James asked us to play that, talked about us in the New York Times, and we met. 2 of us met him while we were there and stuff.
Well, did you get to stand on the stage while they were playing, or
No, we got right up front.
Yeah.
Because they played both nights, and then later we found out they played on one of the small stages under a different name. They played straight through Kill 'Em All, and I missed that because there was like 30 bands or something on this 2-day fest. They played the Black Album straight through one night and Ride the Lightning straight through another night, and then a bunch of extra songs. So,
Yeah, I think Metallica is probably where I cut my teeth with metal.
yeah.
Like, I used to listen to punk and a lot of alternative stuff, but I think Metallica might have been, I think it might be everybody's first like little bit. And then I went Pantera, and then I went 9 Inch Nails and Ministry and stuff like that. And you go down the rabbit hole, and now you're listening to Lorna Shore.
Iron Maiden was my entry into it, and then Priest and all that kind of new wave of British heavy metal stuff. And then I got into Metallica and was just like, oh, this is a lot heavier. And then Slayer came along, and then I started discovering death metal in like the late 80s, and I was like, oh, that makes this look like children's music.
Yeah, I just think it's funny how music today, like you listen to Metallica back then, and then like I said, because a heavy rotation for me is a band that I just started following is Lorna Shore, and you're listening to those those pig squeals and whatnot, and you're like, Metallica wasn't that heavy. It's gotten ridiculous heavy now.
Yeah, but I've been listening to stuff like Lorna Shore. I mean, I'm not really too into them. The symphonic elements of it don't really do it for me, but the pig squealy, like super death metal stuff since like the early 90s, I got pretty deep into that as I was getting into punk and hardcore, and I was like, oh, grindcore, and there's all these different elements of it. Like there's so many different genres. They didn't have genre names back then, really, but
it's just metal.
Yeah,
I gotta pop this guy in, ladies. Jeff Jackson, MTB, buddy. Couldn't miss this.
He's
checking in. He's in Bentonville. I just saw him flying on a plane there this afternoon or this morning on the Instagram. If you haven't been, brother, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun, man. You just ride everywhere.
I don't know. I'm trying. I haven't really done out of state mountain bike trips.
I've done a few since this whole thing started. Ladies and gentlemen, JT, the Dusty Dutchman, is in the house. Holy cow. What's going on, brother? Miss you, man. Where were we? Talking music. So you said you were in punk for what are so, speaking of cutting teeth on punk, what were some of your bands back in the day? Like I knew I grew up on Minor Threat and Fugazi, and
I have a Minor Threat tattoo on my leg.
And you got Black Flag.
Cigarettes.
Okay.
You've probably seen it in the videos. So I love that hardcore, and then like a lot of the even more kind of underground stuff. Like there was a label called Ebullition Records back in the day that I love that did really super political hardcore bands, and just really interesting music and a lot of power violence and all these different genres that I love, and still talk to all the people from those scenes. All these crazy bands that you probably never heard of, like Man is the Bastard and Capitalist Casualties and stuff like that. Like just crazy bands. The more underground it was and the less people that knew about it, I was more into it back then. Now there's just so many I can barely keep up, and I'm old. So I try and keep my foot in the scene, but with my health issues and stuff, I can only go to like a few shows a month. It just kind of wears me out, and I'm trying to ride and stay healthy too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really loved. I got into all the circle jerks and Black Flag and all that stuff, but the more raging stuff was really my thing. Like the more it pissed my parents off, the more
I loved. We would go to the record store, and if you're watching, please comment. Going to the record store back in the day, if you're old, and I'm sure all these guys are old enough, we would go through the records or the CDs or the cassettes, and I would try to find the most disturbing.
Oh, record cover. I knew exactly what you're going to say. Yeah, that's why I bought like Napalm Death the first time. Like,
I dated a girl in college for 2.5 years. I was a big Napalm Death fan.
There was a sticker on From Enslavement to Obliteration when it came out, like 89 or something. And I was in a record store here, and it said, it had a quote from Joe Elliott from Def Leppard. And it said, "You don't get to where we are today sounding like Napalm Death." And I was like, I'm buying this right now.
I'm bringing this up because I was thinking about it because I know you got a past in metal. I was going through and I found this one where like this little kid had a hatchet, and the parents were, and it was called Anvil Bitch. It was a speed metal band.
Band Anvil or
Anvil Bitch.
Anvil Bitch.
And they had songs like Maggots, and they went maggots everywhere. I love it. JT's got Christopher Cross is as heavy as he'll go.
I like that stuff too. My wife loves yacht rock, and we'll listen to Steely Dan and Christopher Cross and all that stuff too. I love music. I honestly, it doesn't matter to me. I know Radiohead's one of my favorite bands. Like, I love all kinds of music. I even delve into some pop and stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate music for what it is. Like I
like emotion, kind of something that moves me, whether it's feeling fun or angry or happy or, sad. If it moves me, I don't care what the sound is.
Yeah, I guess JT, you weren't looking hard enough in control. They were on way before Bieber.
Carcass didn't play.
No tornadoes this week. Let's hope that he is safe. I was there for the tornado one. Steve, the Dusty Dutchman, was definitely there because I went to the place he was staying at, and there was a tree sticking out of his Forerunner.
We got stuck in a tornado on tour once, like 97. We were leaving Kansas at night, and the tornado didn't hit us, but we had to drive from Kansas City to Reno in one shot. And we left directly after the show, and we had this van that had a spoiler on it, like the A-Team van,
Oh, yes.
We're driving in this insane weather, and we just heard this loud crack. And we couldn't figure out what it was. And we get out, and the middle of the spoiler had ripped off the van.
Now it's not a cool van now.
It was crazy.
Son of a. So you go from being in a metal band. Were you riding then still, or you were just focused on being a band? There's that noise again, this darn apartment.
So I started playing in bands when I was 15. That's probably as I started skateboarding more and kind of getting away from mountain biking for a few years. But when I was 19, I played in bands steadily, at least one band, usually two, until probably 2015, when I started having a lot of health problems. So yeah, I rode off and on through my whole time of playing in bands. There was just that one long period from like 2000 to 2008 or 9 where I didn't ride, and because I was starting the studio and touring a lot, and I went through a divorce and just a bunch of stuff. Then that just kind of I didn't think about mountain biking until my buddy was just like, "What are you doing, man? Get on a bike."
Yeah. Yeah. It helps. It helps when you're going through life stuff, man. I can
Yeah,
tell you,
that's the best.
I enjoy going, I enjoy riding more now than I think ever. Um, but so you get to ride it. You're ADHD. You keep bringing up health problems, and in the description, I bring them up, and I joke. I'm like, why aren't you riding? You're still riding, and you're a transplant survivor.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. This guy rides mountain bike in the heat of Arizona, and you've got a different organ
Somebody
or
else.
someone else's organ.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So, when I was a kid, my mom died of something called Wilson's disease right after I finished high school. And it's a hereditary disease that makes it so your liver stops processing copper. And the copper builds up in your liver and it just eats through the organ because it doesn't leave the organ and the metal just eats through it. So I used to get checked for it. And then I went a lot of years without health insurance and just avoided the doctor as much as possible. And when I met my current wife, she got me back on health insurance, and I tried to stay, you know, with going to the doctor at least once a year. And but I guess they were just doing the wrong tests on me, and I wasn't doing like a Wilson's test. Um, and then 2013 ish, I got diagnosed with very low platelets, and they sent me to a cancer doctor.
Wow.
And that was a bit of a scare. And he went through all my stuff and was like, "You don't have cancer. I'm not sure what's going on with you, but we'll just monitor it because it's not terrible yet." My platelets were like 80,000 or something. They're supposed to be 150,000. And he monitored me for a couple of years, and I started getting sicker. And I was like, well, my mom died from Wilson's disease. And it's super rare. And both parents have to have this gene defect for you to get Wilson's. So it's very rare. Like when I was in the hospital, doctors were like, "Can I examine you? I've never seen a Wilson's patient before." And my hepatologist told me that I'd probably be the only active Wilson's patient that his staff would meet in their careers.
Wow.
So the cancer doctor kept telling me that I didn't have Wilson's. My wife even went in and was like, "I think he has Wilson's disease." And he's like, "No, he doesn't have Wilson's disease." He was just did not want to listen. So I started having all kinds of crazy problems like swelling, which I'm constantly fighting water retention. I got some water retention. We went up to Sedona for I think an anniversary, our 10th wedding anniversary in like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd been swelling so much, like it was getting hard to get my shoes on and stuff. And they were just like, "Oh, just wear some compression socks." And we went up there, and the altitude made it really push in on my chest. I couldn't breathe. And I came back and went straight to the doctor, and they were like, "Oh, maybe you're having heart failure." And they sent me to the ER, and they're like, "No, you don't have heart failure, but you have 60 pounds of water on you that you could lose." And they took 40 pounds of water off me in like 3 days, which is crazy. And they collected my urine the whole time and never tested it. And this was under the hepatologist. They would have just ran my urine. They would have seen that I had Wilson's disease. So time went on. They sent me to a cardiologist after that. He's like, "You don't have heart failure or heart problems. Like you have venous reflux in your legs where they don't pump water out of them. So just wear compression socks." And I was like, "Okay." And about a year after that, I got what I thought was pink eye, and it got pretty bad. And mind you, I'm feeling terrible this whole time. Like I feel sick, but I just got accustomed to it. And I went to an urgent care on a Saturday, and they're like, "Yeah, you have pink eye," and they gave me some drops. And I was like, "Okay." So then that was Saturday. Wednesday, I couldn't see out of my left eye. It hurt so bad, and it was super red. So I went to my GP, and he walks in the room, and he's just like, "Whoa, what the hell?" And he's like, I got to get you to an ophthalmologist right now. And I was like, I thought I just have pink eye. He's like, you don't have any pink eye symptoms. You're about to lose your eye. You need to go drive right now to this ophthalmologist.
Whoa.
So I drive to the ophthalmologist. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, I just thought I had some pink eye. And I get there, and the ophthalmologist walks in and is just like, oh my God. He's like, we got to take you in right now and laser your eye and put holes in it because the pressure's at
holes in your eye.
Yeah. The pressure was at an 80 and your eye pressure is supposed to be like 13 to 18. And
no bueno, sir. I can't put eye drops in my eye. You're not lasering holes in my eye.
No,
just scoop it out. I'm done.
Eyes. So he stayed until 7 p.m. that night, lasering my eye out, brought me back in at 7 a.m. and lasered more holes in it because he's like, if I don't do this, you're going to lose your eye. Yeah. So then he was like, you have acute angle glaucoma, which I've never seen in like someone in their 40s get. It's really rare in your 70s, but that's usually when people get it.
Yeah.
And so he's like, we need to replace the lenses in your eyes so you don't get this again. And I had all these problems where, you know, it strangled the optical nerve in my eye and made it bleed. So I have all these blank spots in my left eye, and I'm legally blind there. And I had like 7 procedures on my eyes. And every time they give me like antibiotic drops or something, I'd get sick for weeks.
No, you're messing me up with the whole eye thing. I can't do eye things. I don't like spiders, and don't touch my eyes.
Well, so I went in for my last eye operation, and they take my temperature, and they're like, you have 103 fever. I was like,
that's fine. 104, you should worry.
I was just like, what? They're like, you don't feel sick? I was like, I just always feel like this. I didn't know I had a fever. And the ophthalmologist sat down with me. He's like, look, man, I don't know who your doctor is right now, but you've got to go demand some answers, because if you have 103 fever, antibiotics are making you sick, like something's wrong. So I went back to my GP, and I said, listen, this hepatologist hematologist isn't doing me any good. Do something. So they did a 24-hour urine on me, and
sounds fun.
Called me the next morning. Yeah, put this pee in your refrigerator.
Pee. Gotta pee more.
Yeah. And they did that, and they called me. This is a week of my 43rd birthday, and my mom died from Wilson's at 43. They called me. They're like, I have Wilson's disease. And I'm like, oh. I was like, okay, that's a wrap on old Butler.
So they told you have what you've already told them.
Yeah, they sent me to a gastroenterologist.
Guess as doctors, I mean, if you're a doctor, I get it. The human body is very.
But this guy didn't. So they sent me to a gastroenterologist. He looks at the numbers, and he's just like, you have Wilson's, and you've got to get to a hepatologist. You're in terrible shape. By then, my platelets were like 30,000. And they were putting me on steroids and stuff. And I was puffing up from the water retention and that, you know, and
40 pounds of water.
Yeah. So I got to a hepatologist, finally, a liver specialist. And he's just like, you need a transplant. He's like, I don't even need to do a biopsy, but I have to for your insurance. But he's like, you're dying. So that was the fall of 2019, and they were supposed to start doing my workup in spring of 2020, and we all know what happened then.
Yeah, that's a fun year.
They didn't want to bring me in the hospital because I could die because I was so immunocompromised.
I love it. You back it up a few sentences.
Sure.
When they tell you you could die, when somebody tells you you're hanging on, what went through your head? And that's the news guy in me. Sorry, but I
saw my mom die from this, and she waited on the transplant list for a year while Mickey Mantle and Larry Hagman both got liver transplants in like a couple days. And, they were alcoholics. I'd never drank a drop in my life. And I've always been straight edge and didn't understand why this was happening to me, So they told me that, and I saw my mom die from it. I was like, and again, I was just like, oh, that's a wrap on old Butler, So we're probably done here. So, and I came within days of that probably being a reality because they didn't do my transplant workup until June of 2020. They didn't get me on the list until August. And by then, I had a blood clot in the portal vein of my liver, and that's the only vein into your liver. And they were, if that fully closes up, like you're gonna die instantly, and there's nothing we can do.
Oh,
And I had esophageal varices in my stomach, and they couldn't operate on them because they went from my esophagus into my stomach, and that's caused by the liver failure, and it was messing up my heart and my kidneys and all that stuff. So I always tell this story. In October of 2020, I kept going in and doing everything they were telling me, and I was doing like protein infusions for hours and hours a week, sitting in hospitals, but they didn't want to hospitalize me too much because of COVID. So I was living at home, with a walker and a cane, and could barely walk. And they called me on the day that I was just like, because for a month I didn't get any offers. I'd had a few offers. I was on the operating table at one point, and they took the liver out of someone, and they were like, "It's no good. We can't use it."
oh,
Yeah. So I didn't get an offer for like a month, and they were just like, "Sorry, we can't force it to happen." And I got to a point where I was done, and I was just like,
really?
I'm within a few days of dying, most likely. And I'm not bald, but I shave my head because I have really curly hair, and it drives me nuts how it sticks up all over the place. So I was shaving my head, and I was just like, why am I bothering doing this? Like, I'm not going to be here in a few days. So why am I shaving my head? Why do I care about my looks right now? And the phone rang as I was like thinking that to myself. And they were like, "Listen, we got the best liver that we've ever seen flying in from Colorado, and it's match, and it's yours. We're not supposed to say this is definite, but this is going to work." And they were like, "Get here at 4 p.m." And so my wife and I went to the hospital. As we were walking into the door of the hospital, a guy with a cooler was walking in from the other direction, and we like converged into the door, and we're signing in, and he's signing in, and my wife's like, "That's your liver."
He's got his cooler. He's just walking by.
And I was like, "No, it's not." And she's like, "I'm going to ask him." And she's like, "Hey, did his liver come in like just recently in a cooler?" And they're like, "Well, yeah, that's the only organ transplant we're doing. So that was his liver." And
can I get it now?
Yeah.
Can I take it home?
They saved me that night.
Wow.
And I woke up 24 hours later, kind of woke up. I was on a ventilator for a few days. But my wife was like, you get all jaundiced, and I was like gray and yellow. And my wife said my color was just totally different. And I was just like cured, because it cures your Wilson's. But
you no longer have the Wilson's in this thing.
Yeah.
This thing is a liver. Let me jump in real quick. Let me catch up on some of this, because some people are mentioning what you were going through. First off, Mike Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen, Run Bike Mike. He says hi. Dusty Dutchman says hi. My buddy Tony, Tonin Entertainment. You've overcome so much. I'm impressed. Like I told you, we had Steve, Transplant MTB on, and we were talking about that earlier, and you guys have connected.
Yeah.
Through all this. Steve, I'm impressed with your resiliency. I bet dropping in on Red Mountain Rush at top speed feels like baby food now.
Oh, I still struggle with that trail a little bit. It's pretty scary and exposed. Goat's way worse, but that's
your liver and 3 beers in that cooler. And funny enough, and I don't mean to make light of any kind of transplant or anybody going through anything, but years ago, I had a blue cooler, and I had written on it "organ donor," and that was my lunch my lunch box at my couple jobs ago. I carry this thing. They're like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's just."
There was an online benefit show that my friend Matt did for me. He raised like $70,000 for me when I was down.
Wow.
He did during COVID. He did a festival called Butler Fest. That was all my friends' bands from around the country playing. And this band called Exhumed from the Bay Area. They're like a gore grind band, and they use all this medical terminology. So they played a set. What the bands did was they set up in a venue and played like it was a live show, but they filmed it. And then we streamed it later. And then people did like testimonials, like in between sets and stuff. And they had a scene in it where they walked out with a cooler, and I think it said like Butler or it said liver or something onto the stage with it, and a chainsaw.
Oh my gosh. How cool is that you've how cool is that? Like, you've connected with so many people that 70 grand is not a drop in the bucket. Like, how amazing is that you've touched enough lives?
Yeah, we had like I said, I like all kinds of music. Jim from Jimmy Eat World did a set on there, an acoustic set. My friend Bob Bruno from the band Best Coast did stuff, and they were like a surf pop band that was on a major label. My friend David Pajo did a set where he was in Interpol. He was in the Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
Wow.
He was in this band called Slint that is like his legacy. He was in Zwan with Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. And
wow.
He did a set on there. And then like the more underground bands like Drop Dead and Exhumed and Fall Silent and some of my favorite bands also like did sets, and like I cried a bunch through it.
That's amazing.
They streamed it.
You're getting me teary-eyed already.
A month after the transplant was when the streaming happened, because he spent like 3 months. Matt tirelessly put this thing together. It was insane. And you know, some local bands that were friends did it at the Nile Theater here, and Michelle that runs that place like paid all her technicians to like film it and do sound for it and all this stuff. And yeah, it was, I've never been touched more by anything than what Matt and all those friends did for me.
That's amazing, man. You get me all teary-eyed.
I did a thank you postcard for all of them. I sent it to every band member and everybody involved, and it had a picture of my dead liver on it. And everybody's like, you got to make a death metal album cover with that. And my friend made a fake one with it. It was super funny.
Steve with all this silly. They didn't call it Butt Fest.
Man, you know how many kids I beat up in elementary school for that?
Oh, man.
Everything was butt.
The fans want to know.
Blur.
JT, I am good. I am good. Thank you so much, brother. JD MTB Colorado. Yo, yo.
Nice.
What's going on? JD MTB Colorado doing it? I'm sorry. There's so many like names. We all have like weird names.
Oh, it's great.
But yeah, thanks for joining in, man. I probably know you. If you just, I'm going to be embarrassed. I hate that. But
I recorded bands for 15 years. And so now all the time it shows people will come up to me. Danny has a postcard. They'll come up to me and be like, hey man, how's it going? I'm like, hey guy. And they're like, hey, I recorded drums with you for 4 hours in 2005. You don't remember? I'm like, no, I don't remember last week.
I'm one of those guys. I just love following people. Like I follow more than are following me, just because.
Yeah,
I'm just like, this is good stuff. This is good stuff.
I love content. I love YouTube. I love
and I'm just a doom scroller anymore these days. But
who isn't?
So new liver.
Yeah.
New lease on life.
New lease on life. And then I had it caused diastolic heart failure, which I didn't really understand for a couple of years.
Man, you got more problems.
Oh man. So about a year after the transplant, I had a steel Vasago hardtail kind of set up as a trail bike, and then a titanium Vasago moose knuckle, it was called. This local company that makes these amazing hardtail bikes, really boutique handmade stuff. I had 2 of those, and I was determined to get back on them. And like, so about a year after my friend Dustin and I went out to like the easiest green trail here, and I tried to ride up it, and we got probably 3 miles total, and I was just like done. And I kept trying to do that, every couple of weeks I'd go out and try, and then I'd get discouraged, and it'd get spaced out. And then finally, like early 2024 was when my buddy Josh bullied me into selling both of those hardtails, and I got a Santa Cruz Heckler. And that was the real new lease on life for me, because I was just like, oh my God, I'm not playing music. They pinched a nerve in my shoulder during the surgery, and I couldn't feel my left hand for 3 years. So I couldn't play guitar.
Man.
So I was like, I want to ride bikes, man. I can't be in a band. I don't have the energy. I can't play guitar right now. So when I got that e-bike, it was just like, oh, it's on. It's been a slow rebuild still, but I could ride again. It's just amazing. Opened up the world to me again, which is the amazing thing for me about EMTBs, with that tech hitting at the right time for me. I can be back out there again riding with my friends.
So an old aluminum Heckler, those things were tanks, Steve.
It was carbon. It was like a 2024.
New liver, new onions, time for dinner. I hated liver and onions. My organ meat was no bueno when I was a kid, man.
I'm a vegetarian.
My family doesn't eat any of that stuff. When I was a kid, I had to eat all this crap. And then I asked my mom, I'm like, when's the last time you ate whatever? She goes, I don't eat that crap anymore. And I'm like, why'd you make me eat it?
I've been a vegetarian since I was 16, probably.
Wow.
I only eat the onions part. You're sorry. I love animal.
I don't eat red meat or pork.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is heart. I don't know your heart thing, your liver thing. Can't feel your hand. All these medical issues, and yet you still chose to get on a very safe mountain bike in some chunky ass terrain in Arizona. What's wrong with you?
Well, yeah, we can get into that. We haven't even discussed the Javelina incident yet, but
yeah, we'll get there.
I like adventure, man. I like a journey. Life's a journey. People are always like, man, all this stuff keeps happening to you. Aren't you discouraged? I'm like, I just kind of accept it as another day. I had like 6 doctor's appointments last week and physical therapy, and like that's just the journey. I have to do that stuff to stay alive. So I need to ride my bike to stay alive.
It's amazing.
With this new injury, my wife was like, if another thing happens, you're done. And I'm like, no, it's not going to work that way. She's probably watching in the other room right now, or she'll watch the
she better like and subscribe.
I'm gonna ride until I can't, which is how I've always done it.
And I think it's great. It's just like, your guitar is like part of you. You've been doing it for so long, and all of a sudden you can't do it.
Now I can't.
And your hand, I mean, I still have no feeling in the tip of my finger. I lost the tip of my finger. And what's that?
Like Tony Iommi.
It just feels weird even breaking, but and now you've got, I'm just impressed. I think that's where I'm going with this, is that I'm impressed that you keep getting handed a bad hand or dealt a bad hand every now and then. It's not bad because
there's a nickname that I have that a lot of my friends call me.
Go for it.
Bad Luck Butler.
Bad Luck Butler. But no, I would say good luck, because you're still here and you're talking to us and telling your story, man. I think it's amazing
for what I have, but I get kicked in the junk quite a bit and keep going.
Yeah, I know, man. Life deals some in heavy hands here.
Yeah.
So you're riding mountain bike. Mm-hmm. You're doing it for adventure, and you're also probably doing it for your health and just to keep yourself active.
Yeah, moving.
Tell me about your favorite trails out there in the Arizonas.
So I ride South Mountain a lot. I'm working back up to some of the Black Diamond stuff there, but It's like 10 minutes away. So I can
Really?
ride South Mountain really easily. Hawes is my favorite place to ride because there's just a lot of stuff. They're putting in 20 miles of new trail as we speak. They already
Wow.
finished one in 3 days last week. So Hawes is about 30 minutes away. I ride there probably at least once a week, and it's just so much fun. There's so much different stuff out there, and I've been riding there since it was old Hawes, just the 4 or 5 trails on one side of the mountain, and now it's like 40 something miles of trail, and they're putting in 20 more. And then there's Phoenix Mountain Preserve, like they were talking about. There's McDowell Mountains. There's Apache Wash, Fins. There's stuff all throughout the valley on every side of it.
But South Mountain's your go-to because it's so close?
It's not my favorite because it's so technical. The blue trails there are kind of black. I rode there last night with a buddy who I hadn't seen since I was probably 20, and we raced together when we were in middle school. And we hadn't ridden together. He never stopped riding, except for when we were skating in high school. And we've been saying for years, like, let's go do a ride together. And we finally did it last night. And we did this blue trail. We did Desert Classic and Corona de Loma, and it's so chunky. And he brought his kind of more cross country bike, and he's just like, man, it's so gnarly out here. So South Mountain's really technical. There's no maintenance on it really, except that National, like Pivot Bikes, does some maintenance on there every week. And I haven't been riding National because it's super tech. You've probably seen videos of National. And I grew up racing cross country, and became like kind of a trail rider when I was getting back into it. Yeah, he's right. Big rocks at South Mountain. It is serious. So, but now that I'm on these big EMTBs with 170 freaking millimeters of travel, I'm trying to up my level a bit, and the technical climbing becomes a little easier because you have that push. Even though for me the e-mountain bike kind of makes it so I'm like, I can ride with analog riders, and I can outpace them a bit on the climbs, but it really evens it out for me more than anything now. But yeah, I was riding hardtails and stuff before, so I was doing a lot of cross country. I was trying to stay risk averse because I was touring. I was like, I don't want to break my shoulder from like a javelina hitting me or something. And but now it's on. I've been trying some of the harder stuff.
Yeah, bringing up the javelina and night riding. I watched the video. I'm like, what the fuck is that animal? If you don't know, folks, he was what would you say, attacked by some wild boar pig thing?
So that's kind of a mystery whether it was like intentional or not. I'll never know.
Or was just running across and
yeah. So a javelina is a cousin of a pig. They're called a peccary, is their like scientific name. And I think they're native to Arizona, but there's some in like Mexico and Texas and stuff, New Mexico. But yeah, it's this kind of wild boar looking thing, and they can get up to 80, 100 pounds. And I was doing a night ride, which is when the animals come out here in the summer. And South Mountain, the east end of it, there's neighborhoods all around it. It's like a desert cul-de-sac. So they're kind of all corralled into this tiny square mileage there. So you see a lot of them compared to like night riding at Hawes, where it's national forest and they just can go where they want. So every time you night ride at South Mountain, you're going to see some kind of animal. Excuse me. And I was doing a night ride. I had an incisional hernia from my transplant that I'd been trying to get fixed, and that day they set the appointment for me to do the surgery 2 weeks later. And I'm ending my ride. I'm in the last mile of it, and I was like, this, maybe I should make this my last ride before surgery. I was thinking that right before it happened. And these college kids were out there hiking, And this Javelina came after them and chased them up a boulder. And they're not usually aggressive with people unless they're rabid or they have babies. And it chased them up a boulder, and they couldn't get up the boulder, and it wouldn't leave. So they started throwing rocks at it, and it took off. And then they said, like a minute later, they hear me screaming, and I it it hit me. So I was down into a wash. We have a lot of on the lowland trails at South Mountain. There's a lot of this, and it's like steep, like 15 foot down, 15 foot up, like right away.
Yeah.
And I was going into one of those, and I had stopped at the top of it because I was in the wrong gear going uphill on the other side, because it's literally just this out there.
Yeah, that's what it is here. It's just up and down roller coaster.
Yeah. And I got stuck, and I stopped, and I had my camera on, and I had my lights on, and I'm talking at the top of the hill. So there's no way it was down there and didn't hear me. And then I take off, and I get close to the bottom, the like G out of the wash, and I hear snorting and like the clomping of hoofs on the sand. And I just see this big brown blur on the side of me. And I yelled, "Oh, I don't know how PG you keep this." And
whatever you want here.
Oh shit. And it T-boned me, hit the back of my front wheel and the bottom of my frame. And I Supermaned over the bars into the oncoming uphill. And I hit my elbow on a rock, and it snapped my shoulder. So I'm on my back all of a sudden, looking at the sky, screaming. And I'm on a sandy slant, and I have bad knees because I blew out my knee in 2012 leaving a show here, and have had surgery on that. And
I disappeared somehow.
Oh, you're back.
That was weird. I was like, wait a minute, why? It just logged me out. I'm like, wait a minute, what happened?
Could you hear me?
No, I was just like completely bugged out. It was weird. I don't know what happened, but I'm back.
Okay. So I'm on my back on this sandy slant, and I have bad knees, and I'm trying to get up, but I'm kind of on a wall. So I'm angled, and this is the arm that's broken. So I couldn't get this arm under me to push myself up, and my feet were slipping out from under me trying to stand up. And I'm just screaming in agony from my arm.
Yeah.
And I damaged some nerves, which made it super intense pain. And so I couldn't get up, and I was like, what the hell am I going to do? And I got to the point on the long form version of the video, you can hear me talking to myself about, okay, what are you going to do, Ryan? What are you going to do? And I was going to drag myself into the wash and find there's not really trees out there, but there's shrubs. I was going to try and pull myself up to get out of there. My fall alert had gone off on my Apple Watch, but it didn't call 911. My phone was on my bike, which was under me somehow. And I was like, do I want to pay to get hauled out of here too? That went through my head. And as I was thinking about dragging myself into the wash, but also thinking about there's rattlesnakes everywhere. It's July. And scorpions, and I'm
immunosuppressant. Rattlesnakes, attacking pigs.
Yeah. I take immunosuppressants too. So I don't know if I would survive a rattlesnake bite. These kids rolled up, and I heard them go like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like,
no.
Thank God. I was like, "No, I'm not okay. I need help." And they came down, and me being the Eagle Scout that I am, I had a sling in my pack. And I was like, "Can you get this sling out of my pack and put it on me?" So they did that and got me up. And they had a car close by. They were like, "We'll walk you to our car. We'll drive you to your truck. One of us will ride your bike back, and we'll put it in your truck." I have a camper shell on the truck. But they had like a little Corolla or a Civic or something. And I'm 6'3", and
you're a big boy.
Anytime I move it, and I was like, "I can't get in your car, man. There's no way." So I got on the bike, and I rode back to my truck one-handed,
Oh my God.
They met me at the truck and put it in the camper shell for me. And then my buddy, who's a mountain biker, is an ER nurse practitioner at a hospital right near here. I called him and I said, "Hey, you're not gonna believe what's happened to me. I'm on my way to the ER. Are you there?" And he's like, "No, this did not happen. You gotta kidding me." And he's like,
"Oh, bad luck Butler there."
Yeah, he's like, "I'll get you straight in." So when I showed up to the ER, it was like 5 minutes, and they got me back. And he stayed with me. He'd been on since noon, and by then it was 10 o'clock. He left at like 3 a.m.
Wow.
And, he stayed with me through all the X-rays and all that stuff. I think they did like a CT scan and all kinds of stuff. And I had a broken shoulder, and they keep you there until they decide whether you need a shoulder replacement or not. So they have to send it to the ortho doctor, wake them up, look at the X-rays, and say whether you need a replacement or not.
Yeah.
They ended up sending me home.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. They didn't even clean out the wound. And like I went to my GP.
Can I get a little saline solution here?
I went to my GP later, and like the sling is like stuck to my arm because this whole arm, it's all scarred up now. You can probably see it.
Yeah, I can see it right near the elbow.
And it was stuck to the sling, and he like peels it off. He's like, "What the hell, dude? You don't have bandages on?" I was like, "They didn't do anything to me, man. I washed it out in the shower." He's like, "You got to treat this thing." He's like, "It's gonna scar." I was like, "My body's a scar, man. I don't really care about that."
Yeah.
But yeah. Then I started going to the ortho doctor, and they monitored it, sent me to PT. But now I have frozen shoulder.
Hold on, let me pull up the video of this happening.
Sure, do it.
Hold on, let me see this.
You gotta be shitting me.
Gotta be.
I didn't edit the language on this one at all because it would have taken all year.
It's fine.
Damn.
We're all adults watching. Okay, going down.
Here we
Watch this, folks. Nice little steep here.
Bottom right.
Whoa! Oh God! Oh God!
Okay, we'll keep it that because it's real. It's real. Pain is real.
One of my female friends said she watched it, and when she heard it, she started crying.
I had trouble watching it when I watched it. It's like watching JT, if he's still watching. He ran into a tree really bad, knocked himself out, and to watch it was like, it's terrifying to see stuff like that happen because it's not a movie.
Well, that nerve damage is what killed me, and I'm still having issues with it. That I'd never experienced nerve pain like that before. It is so intense, man. And I couldn't sleep for weeks, and like finally went to a pain management doctor, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you have nerve damage." Like. Well,
let me see if I can. Can you see?
Oh my God!
There's a lot.
I'm fucking.
Hold on. Okay, here's a slow-mo. And if you're listening on any other podcast, folks, I like to tell people this. I'm on YouTube, Night of the Javelina, mountain biker, and I don't even know what that Peccary.
That's a Javelina.
Peccary collide on Butler Does It. It's a video, and here's a slow-mo at 10:59 on the video. You see that beast.
Yeah.
Let's go back a second.
They're scary too. They have big tusks.
Fuck.
We're adults. We're adults listening to this.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You can hear
right at 10:59.
Yeah, bottom right.
Bottom right. There it is, right there. Holy, how much do you think that thing weighed? How big was it? Did you get a good shot of it? Like it was visually?
I've slow-moed it like 1,000 times. It was as tall as my 29er wheel. Wow. So it was big.
Must have scared the crap out of you.
Yeah. I mean, it all happens so fast that you don't really understand what it is. But when I rolled over, I was worried it was still there. Because if they're rabid, they could attack you. And their teeth are like 6-inch long knives. I mean, they don't really attack humans unless they have dogs with them. But if they get rabid, they can do some damage.
Yeah, JT crash is bad. Night of the Javelina.
It is rated R. Yeah, the other videos I edited the language out, but it would have taken me so long to go.
One man, one javelina, one bike. Have you learned your lesson about riding at night now?
Say that again. You cut out for a second.
No, have you learned your lesson about riding at night now?
No, I live in Phoenix, man. It's 120 degrees in the summer. Like, if you're not riding at night or like 6 a.m., you're not riding. I mean, South Mountain closes from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or like maybe 6 p.m. in the summer.
Wow, and bringing up South Mountain. I want to talk about this. I know your javelina story. It's wild. I've been attacked by birds riding. If you get near their nests, they'll come and they'll fly and get you on the neck. And
oh man,
it's just a weird feeling when you feel another thing on you and you can't control it, and you got knocked over and attacked by I'm guessing it's got to be at least 150, 200 pound pig.
That's probably like 100, but that's a big,
But for the story, it weighs 150, 200.
Oh yeah, it's 300. Refrigerator Perry.
But
I got faced by an owl out there once, even. You're
really living up to your name, man. So you're at South Mountain. You got a chance to do something that I want to do, not just ride with you. You got to ride with Sage and Dan.
Oh yeah, a couple weeks
another
ago.
Fancy little podcast.
My favorite.
Ride and laugh.
Dan said I was super
what was it like meeting up with them?
It was cool. I'd met Dan before because he lives here and Sage lives in PA. They'd had this trip planned and Sage was going to be here for like a month, but they like riding super tech stuff.
Very good riders.
I'm still kind of getting back up to that level. I don't think I'll ever be at the level of like Sage is gnarly.
Yeah,
Dan rides really gnarly stuff too, especially uphill. So Dan was like, maybe we can do a ride together. I was like, oh, you're probably not going to ride with me because I'm not going to, do Sunset Ridge or something with you out at Oz, like these double blacks that they like to do. And but Dan got injured on the way back.
Yeah.
And had 15 stitches in his arm. So he was just kind of getting back into riding. And he was worried about jumps and stuff. So he hit me up and was like, hey, Sage wants to meet up. How about instead of like having a dinner, let's go do like an XC type ride. Like you pick the trails and we'll go do something. And I said, sure, of course. So we met up a few weeks ago and I took him on this like XC route at Hawes. And I was like, if you're feeling good, we'll go do Big Sister, which is a downhill run out there. Super fun. It's probably the most popular run out there. And Dan felt good at the end of the like 9-mile XC type stuff that we did, which they said they had a blast on too. And it was just fun talking with them and stuff. And we went up and did Big Sister and Dan was doing all the big jumps and stuff. And it kind of made him able to have his confidence back and go out, and they started doing gnarly stuff the next day.
They're amazing, man. They're so inspirational because they're so positive.
Yeah. I can be a pessimist sometimes, especially with all the stuff I've gone through, but I try and stay, have that PMA that they have. But it's hard, but they are very inspiring with their, your unlimited, limitless type thing. And I told them all the time, I'm like, I have stuff that you guys say in my head when I'm writing all the time, keep it rolling. And, these different phrases that they throw out. So they're really fun guys. I'm hoping maybe I can see Sage again before he leaves.
I was going to say before, just between you and me, is Sage really nice? Dan really nice? Or is that just all an act on their podcast?
Not an act.
I'm kidding.
They're so fun.
they're great guys. And
just the nicest guys.
Yeah. Sage. No, no, they're both that way. I was going to say Sage is one of those, like there's a couple other riders that I know. I'll bring them up, Adam Mock and Mark Hill from the segment, that I always joke that they've got to have skeletons buried in their basement. And Sage is one of those, it's too nice.
Yeah.
And Danny, was he cracking you up the whole time? Danny's a funny dude.
Fun. Dan and I, I'd gone back and forth with them both through the comments section and Instagram and stuff before the Javelina accident. But after that, Dan got in touch with me, and we talked a lot. And he was like giving me advice on staying positive through the recovery because he broke his jaw a few years ago.
Yeah, oof.
And his wife's gone through some cancer stuff, and and I've been through my stuff, but he was just like, try this Calm app, try this tea, try this, just get your mindset right. Maybe you can do this or that. And we talked a bunch on Instagram while I was down. And that I thought that was so cool that, he just, we'd never met in person. And he was just open to talking to me a bunch. And I try and be the same way. I have, a lot more fun friends and followers from the music scene than I do the mountain bike scene. I'm kind of new to this influencer, whatever you want to call it, YouTube stuff. And I have a lot of kids that come to me from recording them or them seeing my band that want to talk to me. Sometimes if they're annoying, we call it punishing, like he's a punisher, But usually they're all really nice, and I try and give them my time too. So I always love it when people are willing to spend some time and talk to you and help you do things or just, be a friend.
I was going to say, like, besides Dan and because I know there's a lot of content creators coming out of Arizona. I mean, it's a great place to ride. I hear someday in the years ahead, I'll be out there. But tell me about the community out there with riding. I mean, is it tight knit? I know there's a lot of people that like create, clothes, and I mean, it's just it seems like a really huge.
So I've always been like, I've kind of kept to my like punk rock circle of riding friends until recently. Some of them have either stopped riding or like my friend Josh, who was the nurse practitioner, he got really good during COVID, and he's doing stuff like Sage and Dan. And I can't keep up with him a lot, but sometimes he'll hit me up and be like, hey, I'm doing a hardtail ride. Like, let's go. And but now he just bought an e-bike, that son of a bitch. So I don't know when I'll be able to keep up with him. So I'm still kind of trying to network within the broader scene of mountain biking here. And I've met some cool people, like Nathan from Ride Reactive, and I won't message him if I know I need to go to sleep soon, because like he and I just will talk forever and ever on Instagram. And he's super cool. He's invited me on some rides, but he's like, oh yeah, we'll just do Javelina, which is kind of a harder trail that I'm still learning again. And but then he invited me one, and it ended up being like Jeff Jackson and all these guys doing a night ride, and they went down national and stuff. I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't show up for that, but I'd like to get at that level to be able to go out with those guys and kind of meet a few more people. So I'm always kind of looking for people that are more at my level. But I have some kind of staunch like ethical beliefs too. So I'm really picky about people that I hang out with in my personal life and stuff. So I'm just really, it's important for me that people are very ethical and treat everyone fairly and kindly. So if people aren't like that, that's like a turn off for me, but I've been meeting some fun people here, like Danny the Destroyer Vasquez. He's like a coach out here, and we've been talking a lot. And this guy Mark that does Ride the Heavy, he incorporates like heavy metal stuff with mountain biking. You got to follow him if you don't.
I think I do.
He's out in the North Valley, unfortunately. He's like an hour drive from here, but I did a ride with them like a month ago, and like he and I rode next to each other pretty much the whole ride. And at the end, it was like kind of like a stepbrothers. Like, did we just become best friends? You know, they want to do karate in the garage.
Did we just become? That's what I love about this. Like, I used to just ride by myself for a couple friends down here, and then when I got into this, it started like you go out and you're riding with people and you're meeting people, and I just really think, and people talk about it, it's like it's just such a fun community. I mean, we're just a bunch of adults riding bikes. I say this every podcast, but it's just a lot of fun.
I've been trying to get more involved in like the Hausaholics page on Facebook is really awesome. And they do a ton of events. They do Haas Fest, and they're always doing like group rides and different stuff. So I've been trying to go out and hang out with some of those people and just meet some people. But my current riding ability keeps me from riding with some people because they want to do the gnarly stuff. And, you know, I'll be 50 this summer, and I'm trying to be a little risk averse, but I'm trying to level up. So,
55 this year. Holy cow. I said that out loud and it sounded weird. Like I can live in a 55 and older community in November.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. What's great is we're just, you know, and I've ridden with Steve and Run Bike Mike and JT and a lot of these guys in the chat. You sit back and you go, "Oh, I can't ride with you. I don't, you know," but you can.
Yeah, I know.
Some of the stuff you ride out there is deadly. You got big rocks and stuff. You fall off and you're breaking things, but it's interesting that like everybody I've met on this and then ridden with, they don't care that you're.
Yeah, riding with my buddy Brian last night, kind of something clicked a little with me because he's super good rider, and you know, he was on an analog bike and he made me lead the whole time. I was like, he would catch me sometimes on the downhills, but you know, I was beating him a bit in the uphills. I was trying to keep it in tour mode more. But you know, we had a blast. So I was just like, I just need to get out with these guys more. But sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, we're gonna go ride this trail," and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that in a group situation, because I'll be getting off the bike at certain points and I'll be holding them up, you know. But most people don't seem to care if you hold them up a bit. It's more of a social thing.
Yeah, so. Steve, you're 57. He looks so young. In person, he's like a little baby. He's just he's got the youthful look. And it's funny. I didn't plan this. Oh, nice. I pulled this out of my. I'm one of those guys. I go, that matches those shorts. I'm wearing that today.
They make the coolest clothes, man. I love Ride Reactor.
I like supporting everybody, man. It's amazing. I know it's probably your dinner time over there. If you haven't, but well,
you're the one that's up late, not me. I go all night.
What, you say something? You know, you and me both, Steve. I can't thank you enough for coming on. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I do want, and I think we heart bands, Javelina riding community. Yeah, we're good. But now, if you don't mind, if you'd like to, and everybody in the comment section can join in, the 10 rapid fire questions.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
You're good for that?
Yeah.
Because they're not rapid fire and they take forever.
I'm not in a rush.
Okay, let's start it out, folks. Play along at home. If you can come back as a ghost, would you haunt somebody or would you watch over somebody?
Oh, wow. That's a wild question.
That was the first one that came to my mind when I started writing one. I think because I've been watching a lot of horror flicks lately.
I love horror.
You're a metal fan.
Horror going hand in hand.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Boy, I tend to be probably too forgiving of a person. So I don't know if I would haunt anyone. I almost died. So I would probably, watch over my wife, and the few people that I care so deeply about in this world. That's probably what I would do. You'd watch them poop. That's a good answer. I should have said that.
Rock on, man. Matty, you're awesome for coming on these podcasts, brother. All of you guys. I think I'd watch over somebody.
Yeah, that's the ethical answer, right?
I would like to haunt just for a little bit, a couple people.
There's a couple people that I could, yeah.
I would love to haunt somebody right now, man.
Couple
what
people
band
for studio time, I would go haunt them.
What band is in heavy rotation right now for you?
Oh, this is probably a funny answer. I can look at my YouTube music, but I've been listening to that band Angine de Poitrine a bunch. Have you seen them?
What is it? French? What is that?
They're French Canadian.
Okay.
They are a math rock band that pretend to be aliens. It's mostly instrumental, and it's just two guys. And he uses a looping pedal. He has a bass and a guitar connected together, and they're microtonal.
I've seen that on Instagram.
Yeah, they have the polka dot outfits and
the
stuff.
Polka dot with a big nose thing.
That's him. And
yeah.
At first I was like, oh, that's just a silly gimmick. And then I started listening to the music. I was like, oh, this is rad. So I've been listening to them a lot.
You know what's funny is that they're going viral with that. First off, my sister's going to haunt me and my brother. Thanks. I would watch over you. Anywho, we were going to find somebody just like my ADHD brain when I'm about to go to bed, and then they start playing that video, and it's just like, and then you start going down the algorithm, and it's like that all the time.
That and like, you know, I ran a studio, so I like gear and watching what he does with his feet. He doesn't wear shoes, so he can twist the knobs and dials on the pedals and stuff, and just watching how they do it. I can't really listen to music sometimes without trying to figure out how they wrote or recorded something. So watching them on video for me is just like, whoa. But now I listen to it on YouTube music and stuff too. So
yeah, Neil Diamond, both Matty and Steve. Describe the best sandwich. We had a good one on this podcast once, which I think is hands down, but I'll let you go first.
Well, I'm a vegetarian. So there's a place here called Capriati's that does vegetarian sub sandwiches, like East Coast hoagie roll type stuff. And they do like
just
a turkey.
To the garden.
And I got one of those the day of my liver transplant. I spent like $50 to Uber Eats one because it's pretty far from my house. I was like, this is going to be my last meal. I'm going to get this Capriati's vegetarian turkey sub. So I like that a lot.
Remember the Shred Academy? I think the Shred Academy, was it? Dusty, he brought up the day after Thanksgiving sandwich.
Yeah, they do one of those.
You're a vegetarian, but bringing up your little vegetarian, and you're gonna get some laughter in the comment section because I don't eat red meat. I went to a Five Guys that last week and got their veggie. It's not even a burger. It's literally just all their vegetables put on a bun.
Oh,
they
really?
Grill it up, put some cheese on it. Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know they did that. I might try that.
Dry salami, Swiss mustard, mayo, sourdough is most underrated.
Sourdough rules.
I'm actually going to go get some sourdough tomorrow, I think, because of that comment.
There's this guy, Rob Drew, here, who you've probably seen on the internet.
Yeah, Rob Drew.
Insane writer. And he bakes sourdough bread. I need to get some from him. And it's called Sour Drew bread. He has an Instagram for it, even and stuff.
Really? Rob Drew.
Yeah, that's him.
Favorite bike innovation? Tell it's been a long day. Favorite bike innovation since you got into mountain biking?
E-mountain bike.
Yeah, Actually, you know what? I thought it was overrated at first, but
dropper post.
Dropper post for us down here. I just thought it was ridiculous that I'm using a dropper post when we don't have any real mountain to drop down on, and
everything's steep here.
Yeah,
even the lowland trails are steep. Even if it's like a 15-foot thing, it's straight down. A lot of times, like that Trail Desert Classic, it's all straight down and straight up. So dropper post would be second. I play that thing like a guitar, man. It's up and down nonstop.
Yeah. I at first would have said E-shifting.
I've never had it.
I have it, and it really is. There is a difference to it.
Yeah.
There
I'm
is a
just
difference.
scared to try it. I don't make a lot of money. I only work part-time. My wife's the breadwinner now. So I'm real kind of limited. Like I had to sell a bunch of gear to get my second bike. I sold my bike to get the first one, but I had to sell some amps and stuff to get the other one. So I'm scared to try it and think that I'll need it on every bike. And I have 2 bikes, so
yeah, I couldn't afford that bike the Decoy Core 4. There's no, and I was a little taken back, but when my wife, sorry, I keep doing that.
Your wife?
My wife, long story. She bought it for me, and I was like, wow, like you got the core. So yeah, I get the bikes are costly, and the E1s are not cheap, and I'm probably going to have that bike will probably last me for the rest of my life.
When I was riding hardtails, it was great because we were talking about this last night. I used to change bikes. Like I've always had 2 bikes because one would always be broken, and then, but I would get a new bike like every 6 months and sell one off.
Yeah.
Because people would buy them back then on Craigslist and for $2,000, you're getting an insane bike, 15 years ago. But now since COVID, it's like $5,000 is a mid-level bike. And on an e-bike, that's a low-level bike, which is crazy.
Lame apart. I'm sorry. I'm reading. Like I'm trying to catch up with my Decoy is amazing. Yes, I rode it. But I can't ride it so I can't ride my e-bike when I come visit you, Steve. That's no bueno. Okay. I told you these are not rapid fire.
Oh, no worries.
What food combination can't you get behind? Like, and the examples were pineapple on pizza or dipping your fries in a Frosty. Like,
that's kind of weird, dipping a fries in the Frosty.
Well,
I don't like pizza and ranch is gross to me. Like, I don't really like creamy dressings.
Okay. I'm trying to keep it in.
Sorry.
I'm trying to keep it in because I have
hate
ranch flowing through these veins.
Yeah, I'm not really into like white creamy sauces. That sounds bad.
Yeah, I'm not. No, because you're bringing up Alfredos, and I'm not into that. I like a red sauce.
Alfredos, I prefer red.
Now I want a Frosty too. I had one the other day, and I actually threw half of it out.
They're rich.
I can't do sweets anymore. It's very weird. I cut out sugars, a lot of sugars, and now when I eat something too sweet, it's like I can only do a little bit of it, and I start getting the sweats. Asparagus and anything is just, I love asparagus. I just don't like what happens after.
There's only one vegetable that I'm kind of averse to, even though I'll eat it. And it makes me the worst vegetarian, but it's avocado.
Wow.
I don't like the texture.
That's going to cost an extra $1.
Yeah. I get out of paying that $1. I got a salad last night. My buddy and I went out. I got a salad and I said no avocado.
We've got the comedians just sticking through this one. Yeah, we're
a young guy. I said it sounds bad. I don't like white creamy sauces.
We were talking about this the other day. I work with this girl. She's 26 years old. I'm old enough to be her dad. But what's funny is, for some odd reason, she brought up a name, and I go, I think that was my gym teacher's name in elementary school. So, do you remember your gym teacher's name in elementary school?
The one that started calling me Butler was Coach Rep.
Elementary school, you had a Coach Rep?
Yeah.
Miss Reifenberg.
So,
yeah. So she mentioned the name, and I go, that was my PE teacher in elementary school.
I'll never get out of my head. I'm going, Butler, run faster.
My last name's Uzeric, and I was a power lifter in what was it, high school. And my coach wasn't a coach, my PE teacher, his name was Heifer, Coach Heifer. And he would be like, Uric. And I'm like, who's Eric? And he goes, Uric, whatever, get on the bench.
Robert Uric.
Uric. Okay.
I'm like at Spokesman MTB. He needs to follow me. He's cracking me up.
Yeah,
His comments.
not just in the comments. The dude is hysterical in person. I've hung out with him in Bentonville, in Wisconsin. Dude is just nonstop. Love you, Steve.
I love
Most
it.
embarrassing song on your phone right now. I think you've already talked about it. Was the
Angine de Poitrine. I'm not embarrassed of that.
Yeah. I got so many. I couldn't even.
I've been listening to a lot of like deathcore, which the guys that I hang out with, that's kind of an embarrassing thing because I hang out with all these like true death metal dudes and grindcore dudes, and I've been listening to all this really low tuned new school like deathcore stuff, which is poser stuff in my world. But I've been trying to expand my mind a little, and I've been really into hearing the like 8-string guitars tuned really low and the really heavy stuff. So that's probably what I'm cringing about sharing right now. If they looked at this playlist that I have.
Okay. I would be embarrassed. I'm not even bring it up. What was it? It's my phone ring. Yeah, that's embarrassing. I always already follow you. Dick Goldstein was my gym teacher. Good old Dick Goldstein.
My first punk rock band was Richard Cranium. Think about that for a second. Richard Cranium.
Oh, yeah. That was your first band name? Come on.
It was originally Cornhole, and my dad was like, there's no way you're going to be in a band called Cornhole. The game didn't exist then, I don't think. But
oh, that's funny now that the game.
My dad was like, my 15-year-old son is not going to be in a band called Cornhole. So we changed it to Dickhead.
That's like, I got to bring this up, but I know it's getting long. I remember I was telling my father when I was younger, I forget when I said, I told him I bought the Circle Jerks.
Yeah.
And I was so young, I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
And he goes, are you kidding me? You bought what? Do you even know what that is? And I go, yeah, it's a band called Circle Jerks.
Was it Group Sex, that album?
Oh my gosh.
Or
okay.
Shower of Hits. My dad made fun of me for Bad Brains. He'd call it the Dead Brains.
Oh, I love Bad Brains. Okay. Would you rather have hands for feet or feet for hands?
Oh boy.
That's easy.
Whatever kept me playing guitar, I guess.
You could play 2 guitars if you have hands on your.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You could climb crap.
I was thinking that they would switch, but yeah, if I had hands on both, yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be into that. Yeah,
100%.
It'd be an de Poitrine and play the bass and the guitar at the same time.
Okay, let's get through these. Talking on the phone or texting?
Texting. Screw the phone.
That's why they created it, so we don't have to talk.
It's so awkward on the phone.
You come onto a podcast.
I'd rather FaceTime than
I can't do that.
Phone.
Can't do it.
But text all the way.
Yeah, sister, hands for feet.
Yeah, she knows.
Oh, Steve likes to talk. No, that's why we created texting, so we don't have to talk to each other anymore.
Don't call me unless it's an emergency.
Worst job you ever had? Go.
Uber driving in 2017 when my studio started slowing down. I hated it. You'd meet some cool people, but it was so little money in the summer here.
Yeah.
That's not our tourist season.
No, nobody wants to go out in that heat.
Yeah, and so many jerks, man. You know, drunk college kids.
Ugh.
I hated that.
Get it. I was setting up banquets at a Holiday Inn. That was probably my worst. That or washing dishes when I was 15 at a bar restaurant down the street from my house. And
that dishwashing sucks.
But like it was hand washing. It didn't have that big thing that you put the dishes in and slide it and wash it. I had to hand wash it. I'd stay there till 4 a.m. I was 15 years old.
Jesus.
Yeah. So messed up. Times were different back then. I remember I used to ride my bike home at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
3 miles in total darkness.
Even when I started skateboarding, I strapped my skateboard to my backpack and rode my mountain bike to skate spots. You know, my parents, like 10, 15 miles away, like not even in the same city as my house. My parents were just like, whatever, come home by, midnight.
But his first job at Apple, Steve's first job at Apple. Never been so depressed in his life. Target straightening shelves.
That sounds awful. I wouldn't want to work.
She's my sister. I swear, I don't remember you ever working at Target.
I worked at a gas station for 3 years through college, and that was not great. And it was in
brother.
Scottsdale, which is the rich area here. So it was just nonstop, like pompous rich jerks.
Rich people. Butler, Ryan, I can't thank you enough for coming on tonight, man. It is entertaining as all get out. You've got so many great stories. I could probably go on and on.
Yeah.
But you maybe to revisit. I don't know.
Yeah, anytime.
So much going on.
So fun. I could talk all day.
I really appreciate you doing this and taking the time. Thank your family for allowing me to have this time. Your wife. I didn't even ask you if you have kids.
No kids, just a dog.
Yeah, we didn't see the dog.
The puppy would go crazy, man. So you want her in there. Corgi.
I appreciate you, man. It was a pleasure and an honor, really.
Thank you for having me.
It means a lot to me these days.
I'm honored you had me on and even asked me.
Hold on, Steve's got one more. Ryan, you are a dude. Thanks for your story and for making your great videos. Love learning about you. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. We'll get in touch more.
Oh, see, so I wasn't a bad brother. She only worked there for two weeks.
Oh,
okay. I am a bad brother, but I'm working on myself. Anywho, folks, thank you for watching. If you're new, please hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment. Go follow this kid. I put his stuff down here. I appreciate you all for taking the time out to listen to this goofy guy and to this awesome guy. But so now you know what to do. If you can,